Hi everyone. I'm going to do a little flip through of a little book I made the other day. I made this book from actually a box. Where's the parts? I threw the parts away. This is part of the box. Like it was one of the tabs for how you close it. Anyway, so I didn't make a video on how I made the book. I just thought I'd do the flip through and explain it as I go. I've been watching a lot of other people's videos lately, and I tell you what, I get tired of seeing the same thing over and over. Oh, anyway, so all I did was, well, I'll talk about the outside last. Maybe I'll talk about it now. This is the closure that I made. It's just a piece of yarn, and let me make sure you can all see. Okay, yeah, I am. Okay, so anyway, the box is this part here, and I just opened it all up completely and cut away the 3 sides to where I had this piece, and I glued a piece of fabric on the top, and then I sewed around it with a zigzag stitch, punched a hole. I just used my paper punch, actually. I have a really old, was my dad's. That's not it. It's probably hidden under the mess. Oh yeah, see, don't tell anybody, but I just put this pretty little cloth here. This was my great grandmother's, this doily thing, and I use it as a fake you out background. Anyway, so this was my dad's from 16,000 years ago. It's cute. It has spades, hearts, and diamonds on it. Anyway, it's got a really tiny punch. I've had that forever. So anyway, I did a punch. I'm gonna put this here to remind myself not to go any lower than that. So anyway, I put an eyelet in there, and then I just tied the yarn in a few knots to make it where it would pull through. And then I made this little button closure thing by gluing, I don't know, maybe 5-6 sheets of paper together that I just used a tiny hole punch. Another hole punch that seems to be lost. Oh, here it is. This hole punch. I punched those. Use this same punch to make the little center punch. And on the front, it's just a brad. So anyway, I just put a piece of lace on there with a word that I put on the top. And this one, I did some bookbinding techniques that are a little bit different. I didn't feel like sewing the signatures to it. That probably would have looked cute to have the outside with the threads showing, but I was being lazy, to be honest. And so what I did, I'll show you the spine here, is I just glued them to a piece of book tape that I put in there to reinforce it. You can't even see the book tape anymore, really, because I covered it, but it's back there. And I did real end paper style. When you do real bookbinding, and a lot of people that make junk journals haven't done real bookbinding before, and I have. I've done bookbinding for, I don't know, 15, 20 years. And I love end papers. And an end paper that's what these pages on the exterior parts of the book are. And what we typically do in our junk journals is we lay one sheet clear across the whole back, the cover, before our signatures are put in. and then we, affix our signatures to that. Well, in real bookbinding, your end papers are overlaid to the front page of your first signature, and actually your first signature is always defined differently from the rest of the book, and sometimes even the first signature is stuck to the first page of the signature is stuck to the next page, glued down about that same width. If you look at a book, you can see what I'm talking about. Let me see if I have one. Here is an example. I'm just going to pull a random journal and see if it's done that way. Yeah. And actually, see, this is done properly. This is done with a complete end paper. So this end paper goes clear across the whole book page, and it is glued right here. If you look, there's about 1/4 of an inch, maybe an eighth, a little between an eighth and 1/4 of an inch that's glued to the first page of the signature. So that's really the true proper way to do it, an end paper on a book. That all being said, oh crash, everything just went kaput. I have no space in here. Okay, so let's back to our tour. That's a little bit of history on bookbinding. And it's not required. Obviously, we're making these for our pleasure, not for some quiz or, I don't know, bookbinding critique. But I do love traditionalist bookbinding techniques, and I like to use PVA glue and that sort of thing. Yeah, so anyway, I made a little end paper here, and obviously, had I been doing it properly, I would have carried this the whole way across and not cut it there, but whatever. So anyway, I put my traditional little stamp. I like to stamp this stamp on the inside for whoever gets the book. They can write their name in there. And there's nothing really fancy on any of these pages. I just used a variety of different papers, coffee dyed and food coloring dyed, and then I used some book pages in here. But then on the middle of each signature, this is a flower. What is it called? Botany? I don't know. Flower, some sort of page. But it's this book here. If you can believe it, this plate actually came from the same book that this page came from. So what I did was I just folded over those pages just to give you a little more space and just to give it a little character. But that's really, I wanted this journal, again, I like to have journals with writing space to just be more for writing. And I figured since it's small, it could be like a travel journal and fit easily into a pocket or something like that. But on the inside, I just thought it was fun to have this little plate with the pictures. And then each center of each signature, the string has a little charm on it that hangs down on one side on that one. Let's see, is there anything else exciting in here? Nope, just the other half of that. Yellow eye family. I don't understand all that stuff. And this, when you make little tiny journals like this one is, I have no idea what size it is. I'm guessing it's 3 by 3. Yep, 3 by 3. I'm pretty good at that, huh? I have an eyeball for sizing. I don't know why. I think it comes from, I used to do drafting. And you just learn measurements. Anyway, so the pages are pretty simple on this one. Just a little bit of intrigue and interest. I may have, then in between the signatures here, I didn't stick any, I usually always put an envelope in. I may still yet do that. I actually have, where are they? Are they in here? This is too big. Shoot! Thought maybe I had a tiny one, but these are too big. I have these, but see, they're just a little too big. I've really gotten into making them where they have that little tuck right there. So yeah, maybe I'll make one and stick it in there. If it fits, that'd be kind of cute. Always a good plan. Guess I'm not quite finished, you know. They have to tell you, these journals. There's some that has some stenciling on that page. That was just a fluke. But I was starting to say that these little journals are really good. You can use up scrap pages this way too. I have a drawer full of scraps, and this is just another way to use up paper. So that's the next one, and here's the center of the next signature. And this one, I put 2 Charmies on. What is that? That looks like a bee and an angel wing. Pretty cute. Just more flowers. Just want to make sure I'm still in the picture. Oh, they're kind of cute. And then this one I just did put some, I put a stamp on there, some writing. So I didn't leave it completely boring, but I think it's cute. See, and I love stuff like this where you can just write. Or maybe you even want to draw on it or something like that. That's, you know, kind of the fun of it, is use your creativity and go crazy. And see, on this part, this is the division between the signatures. I just laid this ribbon in there and glued that, so it's like a little bookmark. Well, it is a little bookmark. It's not like one, it is. Let's put it on that page. And carrying on with our little flip through. Hopefully I'm not drawing this out too much. I'm trying to be quick about it, but still give you the idea. Now this is an idea. I had this one page. I need to glue that down. Please hold. I don't like those sticky uppies, and it's clearly going to be a sticky uppie, and my little glue thing here is got. There we go. Maybe that'll work. Hopefully it'll work. Yep. So I just put some washi tape, because this page was one of those pages that had gotten torn during dyeing process, and I thought, you know what? See, I just left the rip so you could see the back of it. I thought it gave it some character to have the rip still show. So I taped it on one side, left it blank on the other. Anyway, here we have more. Back to our flowers. Now I can't say that the flower page with words actually matches what the picture is. I don't think they do. They might. You never know. It would be coincidence if it did. So, and then a little rubber stamp there, and another torn page that I didn't tape up. Trillium family. And that's really it. It's just a tiny little journal, and then my stamp on the back page. That's it. But I liked this. This is actually one of my calligraphy exemplars. So there we have it. And then the little string, I made it long enough to where it can wrap around a few times. 2 times to be precise on each side of the button. And then there you go. I didn't even put a charm on there. Maybe I should put a charm on there, huh? Yeah, I think I will. Anyway. So there you go. I hope you liked this video. I'm going to put this one on my Etsy site. I have that other little one here sitting here still too. I haven't put it up there yet. I need to take some good quality photos. Oh look, this is one of the signatures. I made an extra signature. This is how it started out. This one didn't get stuck in. But because sometimes when I'm making these coffee dyed papers, they almost overcook and become really brittle. So when I folded it and I creased it with the bone folder, it split the page. So I just glued washi tape on the outside. But here's one more signature, and I thought, well, that's pretty cute. I'm just going to leave it. But you see, it's wider than the rest, and I just cut it all down. But I thought that's pretty cute. So I'm just going to save that, and I'll use it somewhere else. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hope you all are having a great day. Look for this on my Etsy site. The link will be down below. Take care.